What is up? My name's Brad and this is Operation N64. Now in this series we're trying to build an N64 collection starting off with just £10 by using our charity shops, our car boot sales, our Facebook marketplace, looking for stuff for cheap that we can sell for a profit to build a game fund to buy N64 bangers. So we finished off the last episode by picking up my holy grail of N64 games, Resident Evil 2. I am buzzing to add that to the collection, but it wiped us out. I think we finished off with about £10 or £12 in the game fund, which isn't great. And I was getting slightly concerned because sales just weren't happening. It just wasn't happening. And I thought this might be the end of Operation N64.
No! God, please, no! No!
But luckily that didn't happen and we made a load of sales in the past couple of days, which is just fantastic. It's taken us right back up there in a very comfortable position. Before we get into them sales, let's take a closer look at the collection as it stands. So this is the current state of the N64 collection. We've got 7 games. We're averaging about a game every 2 episodes, which is pretty good. We picked up this absolute banger right here, my grail, in Resident Evil 2. Buzzing to have that in the collection. We've got some absolute staples as well. Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64. We've got GoldenEye down here, Road Rash, Diddy Kong Racing, and F-Zero X. So really happy with the rate of return we've got here. We're picking up a game like every other episode now. So 14, this is episode 15. We've got 7 games. So technically in the next episode, we should be picking up another N64 game, which is great. I want to tick some more games off this list. But anyway, let's get into the updates to the game fund. We've done pretty well, to be fair. The game fund is definitely a lot more comfortable now. So the first thing we sold was this bundle of Xbox 360 games that we picked up a few episodes ago. I took all the good stuff out and then stuck all the like really low end stuff back on Facebook. It was like 27 games for £20 and it sold, so happy days. And then the next thing we sold was that Family Guy for the PS3. We sold that for £12. We sold that Lost Planet 3 for the PS3 for $6.99. We sold Portal 2 for the Xbox 360 for £5. We sold that Hitman Trilogy for a tenner. And we also sold that Armored Core 4 for £22.99. So after fees and everything, that's a grand total of this to add to the game fund for a grand total of this. So not looking too sad at all. So let's get out there and see what we can find. What is up, guys? VoiceOver Brad is back and we are back with another episode of Operation N64. Now I've missed a week. I had other stuff going on and I had to prioritise that over this, which you lot can understand. But we got back out at the charity shops and it's been slim pickings, I cannot lie. I've been struggling to find some stuff. I found 1 or 2 bits and pieces here, but I was really concerned that the series might come to an abrupt end if we couldn't find anything else and the sales didn't pick up. But thank God we have managed to make some sales. But anyway, hit this charity shop, saw a game and that cool annual, TMT annual, and this Toxic Crusader comic was really cool. But for a tenner, I just didn't want it that much, so I wasn't willing to pay. But very cool to see this big stack of comics. Someone had blatantly donated their whole collection here. A bunch of Punisher stuff, some Transformers stuff. Very, very cool. I mainly look out for like TMNT or like the old school like 80s and 90s sort of like cartoony comics. That's what I like to add to my collection. With regards to other comics, I don't really know a great deal, so I didn't pick any of these up. And let me know, guys, if there's something I need to be looking out for. If you've seen something as I flick through, yeah, let me know in the comments below. I always love to learn. Hit the tip shop here. Saw this Men in Black animated series. Loved this back in the day. And then we saw this San Andreas strategy guide. It had £5 on it though. It wasn't worth £5. If it was a quid, I would have definitely picked it up for the collection. But for a £5, I'm not going to do it. We then hit some more charity shops. I think I was on my lunch break when I hit this one. There's a few games here, but nothing to write home about. Nothing really worth picking up that I could see. As always, guys, point me out when I make a mistake. But I couldn't see anything. I had a look at this Far Cry. But yeah, £2. It's only worth about 4, I think. Nice to see something other than FIFA's. But I didn't pick any of these up because there was just no real value in it. I was definitely hoping to find some value here though, because I hadn't come across games for quite some time. Saw some DVDs though that were definitely worth picking up for the collection. Some Street Fighter animated stuff here. Very, very cool. I love stuff like this, like game related, like cartoon DVD. I just love stuff like this. Always going to pick them up. Yeah, so great to pick them up. And then I saw this, something that kind of looked unusual, Guyver. This was worth nothing. Hi guys, so I've popped down to Carmarthen, try my luck down here, somewhere different, change of scenery, charity shops I don't hit that often, so fingers crossed, let's go. So I've not been having a great deal of luck locally, so I wanted to head a bit further afield, so pop down to Carmarthen for the day. There's a good amount of charity shops down here, like about 6 or 7 charity shops, so I wanted to try my luck. They had a good little selection of games in this first one, nothing worth picking up in terms of value. I did look at this Madden because I want to play some American football. I want to play a Madden. I've always wanted to, just never got round to it. I'm definitely getting into my American football at the moment. So yeah, very cool to see. Maybe I should have picked it up. It's only £1.50. I saw this box set, had a look through the box sets. Always worth looking at the box sets to see if there's any worth a bit of money. And annuals, man. I'm finding annuals like all the time now. This is crazy. So I saw that Transformers one, and I also saw this Visionaries one. How sick is that? Not as familiar with Visionaries as some other stuff, but still very cool to see. A few games in this box here. Now, I had no signal, but there was nothing in here anyway. But I remembered the last time I came down here that I had very bad signal, so I couldn't check anything. But I could tell on sight pretty much that none of these games were worth anything. But still kind of good to see something. I mean, it's just nice when you're not seeing anything to see something. So, yeah, it gives you sort of hope that this place hasn't been picked through, that there's some games other than just FIFAs or your SingStars and all that sort of junk that you see all the time. It sort of gives you that hope that you might stumble across something else. And look, another annual, guys. This is just crazy. You couldn't make it up. And I'm always going to pick up Master of the Universe stuff. Absolutely love it. Another game in here that wasn't a FIFA or a SingStar, and it is this Streets, what's it, NBA Streets, sorry, Home Court, £2, not worth anything, didn't pick it up. And then a nice selection of games here, a good variety of games as well, some fairly decent games to be fair, but the only problem was they had them priced up, which is a real shame. I hate it when you go in, you can tell straight off that, you know, by the different prices on these games, that they're going to be somewhere around what they're worth. It's maybe even more than what they're worth. I mean, this sealed Angry Birds 2, it was a £5, but the seal was really bad on it, and I think they had a few like dents and like gouges in it. I think they had a £5 on it. It wasn't worth a great deal. Sealed stuff you can normally get a little bit more for, but I just didn't want to. Angry Birds just didn't seem like a game that anyone would be after. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it didn't to me. And they had £6-7 on that Red Dead. A PS3 version of Red Dead in CEX sells for a £5, so not worth picking up. I still carried on flicking through, maybe hoping that they might have slept on one or missed one. Check these Guitar Heroes out. This Van Halen one, they had £6 on it. It's worth about a tenner. Not enough of a margin in it for me. £6 on that one. It's worth about £8. So yeah, they were there and thereabouts. Not worth picking up in my opinion. And then I popped somewhere else, saw this in the window, got super excited, and then when I went inside, there was nothing there. But he left it in the window, which is crazy. Yeah, a good tactic to get people in, but there was nothing in there, no GameCube stuff like it said, which was a real shame. Another little stack of games here. Nothing worth picking up. I did check one or two of them. I mean, the Dead Rising's always piqued my interest, but then I see that they don't really have any value, so yeah, nice to see games again though, but just nothing worth picking up. A big stack of FIFAs here, and not any of the ones worth any value, I don't believe. They had a Pro Evo here, 2016 for the Xbox One. Pro, just like FIFA, has really no value. There is one or two that do. You very rarely come across them, but yeah. A couple more games here. Nothing worth picking up again. And then we struck the mother load. I was so close to giving up, guys. I was getting wound up this week. But consistency is key. And we popped in and we found all these Wii U games. And this place, my favourite place to go, they charge £1.50 a game, regardless of what game it is, what console it's on, or anything. It is £1.50 a game. So this place has always been good to me. I'm so gutted I've killed the relationship off of them by annoying them and getting yelled at by the manager. I'm so gutted that's happened. But I still hit it consistently. I asked the dude, when do you restock? and he told me, you know, I'm going to put some more stuff out. So I went in, and he didn't disappoint. He definitely put some stuff out for me, and I am chuffed. This stop has saved the week for me. Yeah, great stop. Buzzing to find this many games. And I only paid £12, like I said, £1.50 a game, £12 for this whole. And we are back in the game space, and it's been a couple of weeks since I put an episode of Operation N64 out. Now, life gets in the way, you know, I've got kids, and family responsibilities, and sometimes that stuff has to be way priority over this, which is obvious. But yeah, so I've had a lot going on. But anyway, when I did have the opportunity to go out, I have been absolutely everywhere. I've been to town, been out of town, been to Carmarthen, Llandudno, Yester Gunlice, Llantrison, Port Green. Where else did I go? I went to the Rhondda Valleys. Man, I've been absolutely everywhere. I apologise if I butchered any of them Welsh town names. I try my best. But yeah, I've been absolutely everywhere, and I was finding nothing. Like nothing. I was driving these distances, clocking up miles, and finding nothing, and it was really getting me down, if I'm honest. I was starting to think, this is winding me up. But in the end, it came good. I have to be honest. We'll go through, try to do everything in order, and you can see how dry it was. And then we had a bit of luck on the last day when I went back to my favourite place, just down the road. How typical is that? I'm driving all over the shop, and I find a win down the road. It's just the way it is. But guys, don't give up. It can be disheartening at times, hitting these charity shops and seeing nothing. But it's all about timing. You just got to be lucky. You just got to get there at the right time, be there at the right time. Because, you know, everyone and their mum is trying to find stuff like this now. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into the pickups this week. We'll do this in order. So, it's not necessarily going to be stuff for sale. Some of it's for the collection and whatnot. So, yeah, let's go through it. But first of all, let's deduct everything we spent from the game fund. So we spent a total of £15, so we can deduct that from the game fund. Still got a kind of healthy game fund, which I'm chuffed about. If we can make a few more sales, I want to go out shopping for some N64 games next week. So yeah, fingers crossed. But anyway, let's get into it. So the first pickup of the week was in my favourite place. There wasn't much in there, but I did find one or two bits. Now the first thing I found was this Fallout 4 Steelbook. It is like brand new, still got the postcards in like protective packaging, so it's never been used, never been opened. I don't think it's got a great deal of value, but it's definitely got more value than just the normal game would. So yeah, maybe £5 or £6, I'm not sure. Have to do my research, but yeah, nice little pickup. And in the same charity shop, I found this, and I love it to bits. It is this TMNT annual. I'm picking these up now. I'm seeing them quite often, different types of annuals from the 80s and 90s, but I absolutely love the colours on this. This thing is sick. Now the next pickup is a couple of DVDs, and these are all for the collection. Now the first one is this Men in Black, the animated series. I remember this program, and I absolutely loved it back in the day. I have a VHS of it, picked up a DVD, why not? Sick cartoon. Can't wait for the game room to be up and running, and we can have like these old cartoons on without, you know, anyone kicking off. And then the next two are pretty sick, I have to be honest. Is Street Fighter Alpha Generations here. Very, very cool. And then also the Street Fighter 2. I think this is the animated movie. That's right. I think, did I pick this up the other day? I think this is the same. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I picked up a VHS the other day. This is, I think, an animated movie as well. I think so. It could be the same. I'm not too sure. Very, very cool. I love stuff like this. I'm not a massive manga or anime fan, but when it's game related like this, I'm definitely picking it up. I then went out on my mad road trip, looking around all over the shop for stuff, and went to Carmarthen, and it started off pretty well, to be fair. I went into this place called Free Books, and in there you can have 3 free books, and then anything after that you have to pay or donate to charity. They don't only do books, they do other stuff in there. And I picked up this box set here, Behind the Mafia, the History Channel box set. Paid £1.50 for it. It trades in for about £5. CXL it for a tenner. I'm probably going to trade it in because I don't know how quick this thing would sell on eBay. But still, a nice little £5 from a £1.50 spend is not too bad. And then I found a bunch of annuals, man, and I'm buzzing with these. These are so sick. Got a Transformers annual here. I have one of these already. Very cool, the colours on this thing. We picked up a Visionaries annual here. Now, I don't remember a great deal about this. Someone pointed it out in the comments before, and I was like, Visionaries. I had to look it up, and it does like ring a bells a little bit, but I can't say I'm overly familiar with it. But it is so sick. very cool to pick it up. And then the last one I absolutely love to bits. If you've been watching the channel a while, you know that this is my jam and I absolutely love it. But it is Masters of the Universe, this annual from '89. The colours on this thing are sick. I'm in love with it. Love picking these things up. And I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing a ton of them lately. Crazy. And that was it for quite some time. And I started getting down that I wasn't going to find anything. And then it all came together right at the end. We had an absolutely banging pickup that I am chuffed to bits with. I paid £12 for these games and there's over £100 in value right here. So I am chuffed to bits. Now the first one is this Minecraft for the Xbox 360. It's like an £8 to £10 game. Always good to pick these up. They sell pretty well, so great to add that. We picked up a Black Ops 2. CX sell it for a tenner. They give you £4 trade-in. I'll probably trade it in. Can't imagine it's a very quick seller on eBay, but still cool, a little bit of credit. We picked up another Minecraft here for the Xbox One. I think this is like a 12 to 15. I could be wrong. Maybe I think about £12 they sell it for in CX. Give you like 6 to 8 quid in trade-in. These should sell pretty well on eBay. Very cool. And then a stack of Wii U here, and I got so excited. Some of them don't have the greatest of value, but I picked them all up anyway. Now the first one is Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. It's like an £8 to £10 game. My kids want it for the Switch at the moment. My boy is asking for it for his birthday, so I'm going to get him it, definitely. Don't tell him though. Shh. But yeah, very cool to pick that up, £8 to £10. Got Mario Kart 8 here. It's only like a £5 game. Had to pick it up still though. Wii U, I just don't see them very often. I see them now and again, but very rarely. Very cool. Got Pikmin 3. I think this is like an £8 to £10 game as well. They're actually just dropping a new one, aren't they, for the Switch? I think Pikmin 4 is it for the Switch? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm sure it's Pikmin 4. But yeah, very cool to pick this up. We got Wii Party U here. This is like a £12 to £15 game. Very cool to pick this up. And the one I couldn't believe when I saw it, I'm so buzzing to see things like this is what makes it all worth it. Makes all the like running about worth it when you find a game with some like really decent value on it. So yeah, very cool to find this. And it is Zelda, the Wind Waker for the Wii U. I think this is like a £35 to £38 game. Very cool to pick this up. Buzzing. This just like reignited me when I saw this. Because you literally, you go to these charity shops over and over and over again and you find nothing. And it gets you to a point where you're like, man, I can't be bothered to do this anymore. Honestly, you're like, this is long. I don't want to keep getting up and driving all these places to see nothing. It gets you down. You can't deny it. It does. You guys can probably relate. You're thinking, oh my God. But then you see something like this and you're like, boom, you have to go, man. If I didn't go that day, I went the day before, saw the same games that have been there for ages. I mean, I've ruined a relationship I had with them. I got yelled at by the manager in there, so I'm no longer allowed out the back. And they're no longer allowed to bring the games out for me either, which is mad because I'm spending money and chat. I don't know. But anyway, I did ask him, I said, when do you put your new games out then? I know you can't go out the back and get me one or get them for me, but when do you put them out? Like, so I can come in, you know, when you're restocking. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And he said, I will put some out tomorrow. And like, I didn't have high hopes, if I'm honest, but when I turned up and saw all them, I was buzzing. So it was definitely worth it. Yeah. So there we are, guys. Another episode of Operation N64. Like I said, you've got to keep going. Don't give up, guys. I know you'll get disheartened by not seeing much, but keep going and your luck will come in eventually, I'm sure of it. And we are finishing this episode with this much in the game fund. I'm pretty happy with where we are. We can make a few more sales. We can go out shopping for some N64 games next week. And before we go, something happened. It's not part of Operation N64, but I'll show you it now because it is N64 related. But I picked up something very, very cool. I couldn't say no to it. My boy Nicky messaged me. He said he's seen this for a really good price. Do I want it? Because he had it already. And I said, yeah. And it is this Pikachu N64. It is really clean, really good condition. And I had it for a pretty decent price. I paid £100 for it. I do need to pick up a controller for it, which I'm looking out for on eBay at the moment. I didn't take this out of fund, obviously, because this was a spur of the moment thing. But it is N64 related. I now have like a variant. I have a basic standard N64. Now I have a Pikachu N64. This thing's sick. Chuffed to add this. Cheers, Nicky, for hooking me up and telling me about this. Very cool. Yeah, buzzing. And that's it, guys. If you're enjoying this series, as always, smash that like button. I really, really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, be rad, stay rad, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.